justice. It's a beautiful day to fight for justice. So last week, I had challenged all of us to meet at the battlefield of memory. And the Bethesda African Burial Ground has become just that. It is a battlefield. Equity One and the Planning Commission would like to think that there is a slight possibility that there's a cemetery across the street. You see, these are all mind games. These are games that the powerful like to play to suggest that what we know is either unimportant or doesn't exist. But then the only memories that are important are the memories important to them. So we're in a battle fighting for our integrity and our dignity. So it is very important that all of you show up next Thursday, 12 noon. They're telling us that the hearing will start at 1, but I don't trust these people. So let's show up at 12 noon for a 1 o'clock hearing at the planning office to show those in power that your stories, our ancestors, and the history of our community is important to you. The lives of the people buried across the street have meaning as our lives today have meaning, and the contributions that we make are important. And that's where the Black Lives Matter, but both alive and dead, comes in. Stay in your resistance. Stay in your resistance. Don't capitulate, and don't doubt that what we're doing here is extremely important. And we have to let the commissioners know that we are serious about protecting the history in Montgomery County. They're saying, oh, you know, we're just going to approve everything around the cemetery, but we won't touch the cemetery. But we were not born yesterday, and we understand corporate power. And so we don't want them to start anything that they can't finish. And when they start it, the plan should include the cemetery. Now, they have not given, despite Win Wright's assurances in her statement that they've hired the anthropologists, they've hired the archaeologists. It's all lies. They haven't hired a single person. And unless we get in the street, unless we march, unless we speak out, they're not going to hire anyone. So what you're doing here today is extremely important. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Let's do that again. We who believe in justice cannot rest. Cannot rest. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes.
So it does not appear, it is so. It is the lived experience of this community. It is the lived experience of this church. It is the lived experience of people of color standing here to proclaim that Black Lives Matter in life and in death. And today we are gathered to commit ourselves to a cause, and yet we are also gathered to commit ourselves to the very human cost of racism, white supremacy, and injustice. We are also gathered to state that every single life under that 60 feet of fill in that parking lot was a human life with a human story worth celebrating, worth loving, and worth mourning as much as every one of these young Black men and women wounded and injured and killed in this system of injustice. And so today I want to introduce you as our next speaker, Pastor Shegun Adebayo, who is of course pastor to this congregation.
For taking time to coming over to Macedonia to help us. We thank you. We ask God's grace and mercy and blessings upon each and every one of you. This is a struggle. We are fully engaged, and we are determined that we will never give up until we win victory. And we are encouraged, by our neighbors here in Bethesda, those who have come out, those who have written, those who have expressed their support for our cause. We are so grateful because we cannot do this without you. And to the mothers who are here today, we want you to know that we share your pain, and we pray that God's comfort will be upon your heart and you come to know the peace and the consolation of the Lord Jesus Christ. So we are going to continue to fight. We've met with council members. Now, what we are demanding is the following. As it was said, there's no agreement that has been signed for the delineation project. In fact, we are telling the council and the Montgomery County government there's no need to waste your money because we know that there are bodies there. Nobody exhumed them, so I don't care what the result of the donation shows. We know that that is a sacred ground and there are bodies lying there beneath the ground. So we have asked them to give the land to the public, donate the land to the public so that we can build a museum on this land to commemorate, to consecrate the lives of those who live in this community. So we count on the support of our neighbors, we count on the support of our friends and our brothers and sisters everywhere to engage in this fight. We invite you to come out on Thursday, February the 23rd, to the hearing so that they can see that there's a great force behind us, that we are not alone. And again, we thank you for your presence, we thank you, for your commitment to justice. And we know that God is on our side, and we know that victory is assured us. But we ask you, don't get tired, don't get weary, keep on marching, keep on singing, and at the end, we are going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate a great victory. So again, we thank you for coming. We thank God for the youth of Macedonia. We thank God for each and every one. We are engaged, and we are going to be here for many, many years, and we're going to build a museum on that sacred site. With your support, we are going to win victory.
I was raised in Montgomery County and went to Montgomery County Public Schools, but I was never taught that River Road was the home of a community of formerly enslaved persons who saved money, bought land, built homes, churches, and a cemetery. I also did not know that 50 years ago, the cemetery was desecrated and paved over. This part of our history is really important for us to know. Not only because, in order to build a more just future, we must know the past and actively work to repair the wrongs that were done, but because the people who are buried in that ground deserve respect, especially if they were denied it in life. People would never accept a parking garage being built on Arlington National Cemetery because it is accepted that those dead bodies deserve respect. The fact that these plans keep moving forward despite vigorous objections from the community is clearly indicative of the fact that at an institutional level in this country, even in a very liberal county like our own, Black lives don't matter as much as other lives. This is unacceptable. We must demand that this change because Black lives do matter in life and in death. And Black history matters because it is our history. We cannot be a great nation if we continue to deny the humanity of some of our people and continue to disregard history that many would rather not contemplate. If we want to truly be a fair and just society, we must start by listening to the communities that we have wronged and work to right those wrongs rather than continue a cycle of denigration of Black lives. We demand that the county do the right thing and build a museum to teach about our local history, not a parking garage.
We thank God for our neighbors and our neighbors' support. And I guess you heard it, but I will say it again. I was born and raised right here on River Road. I played all around. I am the one who said that about the cemetery. I used to play hide and go see in the cemetery, so I know well about the cemetery was there. And when they built that high rise that you can see in the back there, that's when the cemetery has most of went away. And the question I've been raised and asking the county to answer for me is, where did those bodies go? So you never, any record of you, they was moved somewhere else in the county and reburied. We can't get an answer on that. As far as I'm concerned, they're still over in that clay hill, over by the high rise, down in about 70, 80 foot of field dirt. That we used to watch them go in with the trucks and load them out. But we wasn't aware that they was taking the bodies out if they took them out. But I think the bodies are still buried there. I pretty much believe that the bodies are still there. But I also say again, give reference to you all. Thank God for you all. Appreciate you all coming out. Thank you all for your support. and continue to support us on February the 23rd, like has been mentioned. We would like to have you all that can come over to help us testify, say what you say, let them show force of that we're there in number and that we mean business what we're standing for. And just keep on standing and keep on pushing. And we will get to the end of the top of this mountain with a victorious fight. Thank you very much.
God of our ancestors, we give thanks for this opportunity to gather on this sacred place. We stand on hallowed ground, and we stand in justice. We stand to remember those who have gone before, who have gone not in vain. We stand to say that we shall remember them. We shall not be moved in our remembrance and our thanksgiving for them. And so now as we get ready to pour a libation, we want to thank you for the Spirit is moving just as the wind is blowing. The Spirit is moving in this place. And so we pour libation first for those who have gone on before us. As I pour the libation, the common response is Ashe. Ashe is an African way of saying, let it be so. And so we pour a libation for the Spirit of the Most High God. We say Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe to the Spirit of God, who is our first ancestor that gave birth to that which is coming from the ancestors. We give thanks to the unnamed, who we might not even remember what they have done, but their blood was poured for our humanity. We say Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for our lineage, for those folk who not only withstood the trials and tribulation of even the horrors that have gone in times past. We say Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for Cora Botts. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for Charles Brown. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for George Jackson. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for Charlotte Gray. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for William Brooks. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for Jane Rivers Brooks. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for Nelson Warren Sr. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for John Burley. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for Brother Timothy. Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for our ancestors and our family who have gone before. We say Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for the unborn to come in time. We say Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe because all of us have ancestors that deserve to be respected. We say Ashe. Ashe. We say Ashe for all those who are buried on this burial ground. We say Ashe. 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 Ashe.
We've got security guards from Equity One flanking us on both sides. And we've got the planning committee basically fighting us every step of the way. So at some point, people have got to understand that they have to have a moral core, that they have to do the right thing. And we're going to to teach them. If they don't know how, we will teach them how to do the right thing. So we ask you please to come out on Thursday. And that's going to be a part of their lesson when they see the community. Come out in support of doing the right thing, of honoring these people who we stand on them right now. But not only do we stand on them physically, but on their shoulders. On their shoulders. Because they taught us so much about goodness and how to treat each other, and about family, and how to love their children. We need to respect these people and not allow a garage to be built upon their memories. This is a battlefield for memory. So I thank everyone for coming out. I pay my respect, my love to the mothers. You guys are amazing. You really teach us what courage is all about. So we thank you so much. We thank